Hello, my name is Anna Whitman, the Executive Director of Institutional Advancement. And today I have Mr. Louis Miranda with me, our head of school, and we are going to introduce our first ever quarterly chats. How this is going to go is I'm going to have a few questions that we're going to walk through, and Mr. Miranda is going to answer those questions for us. And we just want to take a brief moment and just thank you for your support, your prayers, and most importantly, your time while watching this very informative video. Thank you so much for all that our families do and all of the supporters that we have in our Wayne Christian community. We could not do this without each and every one of you. So we're going to kick off the question and answer series.
All right.
With our mission and theme. This year's theme is Rooted in Mission, Ready for More. Can you share how we've seen that lived out so far this quarter and why it's important for our families?
Yeah, and that's a great question, and I'm excited about the theme, right? So the whole idea of being rooted in mission is going back to what makes Wayne Christian School special. And I've shared this story before with a few people, but I came to Wayne Christian School as a parent first. So I was like many of our parents, right? Wanting Christian education for my daughter when she was in kindergarten. And so when we came to Wayne Christian School, there was something that made it special. And it was like, you walked away from there and you realized like, man, that's a really good school. I want my kid there. And so I wanted to make sure that we recaptured that, right? That we went back to what it is that makes Wayne Christian School special, a close-knit community, classrooms where teachers know their students and where the principals know their students by name. And so that's the whole rooted in mission part. And Ready for More is realizing that we can't stay there. So we have to grow from there. We have to appreciate our past, appreciate what makes it special, and then look forward to what God is doing. And so the way that that's played out, in my opinion, I think this year so far is really through just getting back to the basics. So if you recall, we capped our classroom sizes last year. This year we have 54 kindergartners, and so it's a smaller kindergarten class than what we've had previously for the last few years. But that's intentional, right? Like we want to make sure that we recapture that feeling of a small classroom size. And the other way that I've seen it really happen is just getting back to what makes Wayne Christian School special with like our spiritual emphasis week, right? So that was a huge highlight for us this year and something that I was really excited about. And now we're in the process of planning a missions week where our students are going to be able to hear from real life missionaries. And that's something that will happen later this year, but just those things like that where we're starting to see our students be discipled, our students get excited about Jesus. I wasn't at the fifth quarter, but I heard that went great too, and just seeing that play out. So that's what makes Wayne Christian School special. Looking forward to what's ready for more is we started planting seeds on how we're going to continue to grow our school, our programs, what programs are we going to offer in the future. We are being able to send our students to Kentucky for our freshman trip, to New York City for our sophomore trip, to Washington, D.C. for our junior trip. Our senior trip will be going to Orlando, Florida. And so all of those things that just play into what we're building on, right? And so giving our kids the opportunity to experience more. And so I think that's the way it's looked this quarter.
Well, thank you so much. So on the topic of academic and discipleship growth, what progress have we made in academics and discipleship so far this year?
Yeah.
And what are some areas we're excited to strengthen moving forward?
Wow. Academically, one of the things that we really wanted to focus on this year, and Mr. Thomas, our Chief Academic Officer, has done a really great job, is how do we bring programs to our school that may have not been at our school before, or how do we bring back programs that were there before? So we brought back a carpentry class this year where kids are learning to work with tools and how to do carpentry work. We introduced a brand new survival skill. So our kids, this is a really cool class. Like kids are going out into the woods and they're learning how to survive like in the woods. They're learning how to use tools in the woods. And so that's a really cool class. We started the first ever ag program at Wayne Christian School, and last week you may have seen pictures about this on social media, but I mean they had a two cow stomachs.
Yes.
And from what I understand, the way that it worked is the cow was butchered the day before, and so it was alive and eating and doing what cows do. And then the very next day, our students in our ag class were dissecting that, and they were getting some real experience on what that looks like. And so those are some of the academic programs that we're bringing, because not everybody's going to become a doctor, not everybody's going to become an engineer. We want some of those, but we also want to make sure that our kids are growing in the programs that God has gifted them in. From a discipleship perspective, I mentioned our spiritual emphasis week earlier, and that was a really powerful week. We had the Overflow Legacy Band from Word of Life. We had a missionary from Word of Life come and speak, and just to see our students respond to that. The very last day, we had a time where students that had made decisions from that week had an opportunity to come forward and to just be prayed over. And to me, like, that was just one of those moments that just gives me goosebumps, like just seeing our students respond and say that God is working in their lives. And that spilled over into chapel now. And so last week in chapel, our students were praying with their teachers and their administrators and their pastors. And there's just this almost this sense of God's doing something, and we're not sure what that's going to look like. But my hope is that in 3, 4, 5 years, we'll look back and be like, man, that was the start of something special. And so how do we continue to build on that, right? And so one of the things that I'm really excited about is we're exploring a dual enrollment religion program at Wayne Christian School. We have a few teachers who are able to teach college level religion classes like Old Testament, New Testament, classes that are going to be required in many of the programs. But we know that the schools that they may be going to, those classes may not be taught from a biblical worldview. And so we're looking at ways that we can expand an Old Testament class that's taught by one of our teachers, that's taught from a biblical worldview, so that they get college credit. And hopefully that's something that we'll be able to roll out next year. The other thing I'm really excited about is just seeing the number of teachers and the field trips that they're planning for their students. So we have an interior design class this is their first year, and they're going to the Tryon Palace to look at, I guess, like interior design stuff. My brain doesn't work that way, but I'm excited for them, right? And so here's a group of 20, 25 students that are going to be a part of this field trip, and they're going to be exploring things that they're learning in their class. And so that's something that we're really excited about. AI, so this year we rolled out Trek AI in our middle school and high school, and we're starting to teach students how to use AI responsibly, because it's not going away. It's going to continue to be here and grow, but how do we teach them to think biblically? And so I think that's how it continues to blend our academics and our discipleship.
Very nice. So student life and extracurriculars. Our students are active in athletics, fine arts, and other extracurriculars. What highlights or accomplishments stand out from this past quarter?
Well, as we're recording this, we have our volleyball team is in the state tournament, so they're hosting tonight, which is the first time in a couple of years that we've hosted a playoff game, and they're excited about the possibility about being able to go really deep. So shout out to our girls volleyball team and just what they've accomplished this year, and just being able to do that. We have a brand new 11-man football team, which is very exciting. We've competed in 8-man for probably about 7 or 8 years now, and so being able to offer 11-man football at Wayne Christian School is a dream come true. I know for Coach Pugh and what he's doing with the program. And on that note, we have a brand new grandstand that was provided through generous donations and through donors and through their hard work. And so now we look like a legitimate football team out there, right? But not just our football team, but our soccer team now. So when parents come out to watch our varsity boys soccer team, which is another huge accomplishment, right? We had not had a varsity soccer team boys in several years, maybe 6-7 years. And so this year, for the first time, through the hard work of Coach Stiggy, Coach Spate, Coach Corbett, and their diligence in working with the students, this year we had a varsity boys soccer team and a JV boys soccer team. And so it's grown and it's expanded. And so those are some of the accomplishments athletically. this quarter, but also from a fine arts perspective. We have a group of students that are working on a Frozen production, right? So mark your calendars. That's going to be in May, 2 nights. So last year we were at the Paramount Theater and it sold out, and we were like, we got to do this 2 nights. And so this year we're doing it 2 nights, and so they're already working on that now, and they're putting in the work now. We have students that are growing in middle school by doing middle school productions, and so they're learning fine arts. This year we separated our music program from our theater program so that Mr. Roberts could focus on the theater, because that's something that we want to focus on. We want to make sure that continues to grow. And then this year Mr. Jarman is focusing on our music program, and so we want to be able to offer a choir, maybe a band one day. Like that would be, and so being able to separate that and allow each of them to work in their sweet spots. And so that's just an example of how we're growing in the fine arts. And I think I've said it before, is students, whatever a student wants to do, they can do at Wayne Christian School. And so hopefully we're providing opportunities for them to be able to be engaged with athletics, with fine arts, with extracurriculars. And the sky's the limit, because one of the joys of being an independent school is that we get to really set the tone for what we want to do.
Yes. All right, financial and stewardship growth. Parents often ask how our school is doing financially and what's ahead. How can you describe our current financial health, and what are our goals as we look towards the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, when you get a chance to thank your congressman, make sure to tell him thank you for the Opportunity Scholarship, because that has been a blessing to our families. And, I've heard horror stories of how some schools have raised tuition in order to maximize the amount of scholarship. I want you to know that we've been very intentional about not doing that. When we set our tuition, we're not looking at the scholarship. We're setting tuition for what's appropriate for our families. But I know that it's been a blessing to our families. And so tell your congressman, tell your congresswoman, thank you for making that happen, because it really has helped so many families. On that note, Wayne Christian School is in a very good financial position. God has blessed us. We had a phenomenal CFO, Allison Spake. She's not with us anymore. Allison, if you're watching this, shout out to you. But just her experience having worked in local government, her experience as an accountant, has set us up for success in the future. She did a great job of training our new financial controller, and so we have practices now that are allowing us to be good stewards. And so we are managing our budget carefully. We're making sure that we're setting aside savings, because we don't know if the scholarship's going to go away one day.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we're good stewards of that. And so financially, we're in a really good position. But at the same time, I mean, there's always going to be need for more, right? Because we want to build more programs. We want to build new buildings. We know that there's a need for bathrooms at the athletic fields, right? We know that there's a need for more classrooms. We know that there's a middle school building that we have to build. And so as we look forward to the year, this is just a plug. If you feel a desire to give, there's an opportunity to be involved through giving. Our annual fund this year, we want to raise $325,000, and we're making good progress there. And so I want to encourage you that if you feel led to give. This is an exciting time to be connected to Wayne Christian School, because your gifts are being multiplied. And if you remember last year, I shared with you transparently that our annual fund is part of our operations budget. This year we reduced that by $50,000. Next year my goal is to reduce it by another $50,000, so that over time we reduce our dependency on fundraising, so that when we fundraise, our fundraising arm is really going into those things that people see, right? Because when people get excited about fundraising, they're getting excited about buildings and projects and new bleachers and the things that you can see. And that's what we're working on really hard to make happen, so that when Anna goes out and is raising money, and we have a goal of $300,000, and you say, what are we raising money for? It's going to be something that you can get excited about. And so that's something that we're doing, and I've promised and committed to make sure that we reduce our dependency on that. So Financially, we're in a really good position, and I think God has blessed Wayne Christian School. But we don't want to get overconfident, and so we want to be good stewards. So each of our principals, each of our directors, they have a responsibility to manage their budget, and we want to make sure that we're using good financial practices to make sure. We're getting ready to have our annual financial audit. So in a couple of weeks, we'll have an outside accountant come in and present a financial report to our board so that we can then give that over to the state. That's one of the ways that we ensure our financial integrity. So just so you know, parents, like our books are evaluated not by an internal audit, but through an external accountant who is able to look at our books. We open it up so that she can see, and then she gives a report to the board. And so I'm excited that we do that, because it shows that we're being good stewards and that there's nothing to hide on the financial side.
So we're going to look ahead. As we step into this next quarter, what are some of the biggest priorities for Wayne Christian School, and how can our families pray and support the mission?
Wow, it's crazy to think that we're going into the second quarter, right? You know, so the first quarter went by really fast, and I think the second quarter is going to go by even faster. So upcoming, we have Thanksgiving, you know, so we have Christmas break. I think for me, what I'm looking forward to the most is we have a Veterans Day Chapel coming up in November, and our NHS does a great job with that every year. I'm excited about our Christmas Spirit Week that's going to happen in December. Parents, we heard from you. 12 days was a lot, and so it won't be 12 days this year, but we will have a 5-day Christmas Spirit Week in December for our kids to dress up. It'll still be fun. It'll still give an opportunity, but parents, it'll give you a break from having to decide whether they're wearing a Christmas hat that day or wearing Christmas socks. Or we heard what you had to say, and so I'm just excited about those things. And parents, the way that I would invite you to pray for us is pray for wisdom, because this is the time of year where we begin to look at our budget for next year. So I'm usually thinking about 9 to 12 months ahead of where our school year is. So we're looking at our budget. We know that there's some projects that we need to plan for next year. I'm meeting with Mr. Thomas, and we're looking at programs that are going to need to be in place for next year. And so pray for wisdom. Pray that God would give us the wisdom. Number 2, pray for unity, right? Because one of the challenges in a Christian school is just the diversity of thoughts within our school. Just because we're all Christian doesn't mean that we all go to the same church, and just because we all go to church doesn't mean that we're all part of the same denomination. And so there's little nuances that pop up, and it's something that we have to be careful of, that we as an administrative team and as a school, that we take all of that into consideration so that we can honor those families and those traditions that are a part of Wayne Christian School. So just pray for unity, because we have an enemy that's going to look to destroy that unity. And then the third thing that I would pray for is pray for our teachers, right? Because this quarter, the second quarter, is that time where they're building towards Christmas break, right? And so high school students are going to be preparing for midterms. Some students are going to be preparing for finals. Our middle school students are going to be taking midterm exams, and so it's just a busy time for our teachers. And so, more importantly than anything, pray for them. Pray for them to have the strength. Pray for them to be able to lead successfully. We have amazing teachers. We have the best teachers. I mean, if you had a chance to sit down and talk with them, you would agree. We've got some amazing teachers, and so just pray for them.
Well, thank you so much for your time and all of your just wisdom and knowledge for our school. We truly thank you so much. To those that are watching, we just want to thank you. Thank you for watching this entire video that has a lot of information in this video. And as you're hearing, there are so many exciting things, and it's not anything that man is doing. It's truly God is doing all of this, and we are so excited to see what's ahead in our next quarter. And so, like Mr. Miranda mentioned, if you feel led to give, or if you would like to know more information, we would love to sit down and have a conversation with you on that. And just remember that any gift, no matter what size, truly is making an impact. So we thank you for your prayers, and we just thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you in our next quarterly update.